Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue, and I want you to check out Bondy's Boutique and get some of my merch, y'all. I've added some new things like my mermaid cups and the mermaid tees, and also the Shake Them Tits mugs. All right, you asked for it and you got it. Check out Bondy's merch at Bondy's Boutique.
I'm back for the Bondy Blue Show. Okay, look, y'all. I just wanted to show y'all the umbrella that Miss Lydia made for me. I'm gonna put her Instagram down below so that you guys can check out if you're in the New Orleans area and you would like an umbrella made for Mardi Gras. Y'all look, she got my little mermaid on there and seahorses and the fleur-de-lis and all right, you know what I'm saying, seashells, y'all, and Bondy Blue, okay? Bitch gonna be ignorant as fuck on Mardi Gras. Yes. Yes. Okay, look, I just wanted to show y'all before we get into the video. It's so pretty. She just dropped it off to me today and I love it. The seashells. Do y'all see the glitter? Do y'all see the glitter? Do you see it? I love it. Okay, so I'll put it back in a plastic, bitch, because we don't want it to get messed up before it's time to be out here in these streets. And I hope it don't rain on Mardi Gras, because this is not going out if it's raining, okay? All right, y'all. So let's get into my topics for today is the Bondy Blue Show, okay? Let's start with 21 Savage as a continuation to what's been going on since Super Bowl weekend when he was arrested and detained by ICE for overstaying his visa. And he just was released, I believe, just this week. Might have been Tuesday, I believe. Yes, he was released from ICE custody on Tuesday. He did an interview with ABC News. And he just said that he felt like he was targeted. He feels like the way they came at him, they didn't say anything. They had helicopters, blue lights, guns drawn, you know, like they were really coming after him as if he had killed somebody. And I'm just like, you know, the way y'all detain people for overstaying visas, it's not right. It's not right at all that you arrest him and put him in a cage because he overstayed his visa. Like, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. I don't think that is the proper way to deal with that. And he says that they didn't say anything to him, so he had no idea why he was being arrested until he hears one of them say on, you know, on the radio, "We got Savage." And it's like, that's not even his real name. So that, you know, that just lets you know how they were going after him. They were going after him as a rap artist, not going after him as a citizen. Because why now? Why now? Especially after, you know, since what, 2017, he's been trying to get his U visa approved so his status will be all legal. But it's a very strenuous situation, okay? It's a lot of things that they have to do, a lot of money to be paid. Y'all know how the immigration system is. If you don't know, it's not exactly the easiest thing. The way they act, you think that people will just come over here and they give them a visa and that's it, but it's really not. It's really not that simple. They go through a lot to get citizenship to this country, and he's been here since he was 7 years old. Now, I had the age messed up because the ICE had it messed up, okay? Apparently, he has been here since he was 7. He is from London, which means he is English. Everybody wanted to correct me on that and tell me the UK isn't just, it's the United Kingdom. I know the United Kingdom is not just Great Britain. It is a lot of other countries in that area. But I was just saying the UK because that's what I read. And they were putting videos and memes up of him having an English accent. So I suppose, just like everybody else, that he was from somewhere in Great Britain, okay? Now, everybody wanted to tell me about where he was from, but from what I've read on Wikipedia and on another like US Weekly or one of them websites, because I was just kind of going through several websites trying to see, you know, if everybody had around the same information. And it said that he was from London, okay? Which is English, bitch, okay? Everybody won't correct you when they're wrong, all right? So he came over here like in, you know, when he was 7, but he went back because the uncle passed away, and then he came back to America. But I don't know how long he must have stayed over there, but he stayed over there for a while. And then when they came back to America, he was probably like you know, he was about 13, which is why everybody thought that he came to the country at 13, but really he went to visit and then came back. So, you know, ICE had the information mixed up, but he has been released. Since being released, he's now dealing with a felony charge that came about in 2016, where he took money for a show he was supposed to perform at and apparently skipped out on it. Now, nobody had filed these charges. Nobody had actually put through a warrant, even though the man who is accusing him had went and filed a report. Nothing was done until now. Isn't that convenient? Y'all, I really feel like this is some like go after him type shit. Like, at least that's the way it feels. Like, you let him out of wherever y'all was holding him, in some fucking cell somewhere. Y'all let him out. You know, he gets on a jet with his mom and all of that, and now he's facing felony charges over not performing, you know, on a show, and he maintains his innocence. So we will see what happens with that. But I just wanted to give y'all the update on what was going on with 21 Savage. Okay, another update is an update about Jussie Smolette. Now, apparently I lost a long time follower and shit over this Jussie Smolette situation because I said it just didn't feel right. It didn't sound right. Something about the story just wasn't jiving for me at the point of me doing the video. And apparently she was very upset and told me how hard it's been to watch me. And I'm a firm believer is nobody's forcing you to be here. If you supported me at one time and you feel like I've said too much that you don't agree with and you don't want to fuck with me no more, that is fine. There's more to come. So I'm not really out here tripping off people who feel like it's so hard to watch me, but still they show up every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you please don't feel like I'm trying to make nobody do a goddamn thing, okay? But everybody was saying that something was suspect about the story. And now it seems as if the two people who were actually on the video went from being assumed to be homeless people to now being two Nigerian brothers who were extras on Empire who have actually been arrested. Okay, I'm trying to pronounce this correctly, y'all, because I couldn't get the first names right. Abel and something else. But Osundaro or Osundaro brothers. I hope I know I'm probably fucking up that name. But these two brothers, these two Nigerian brothers were arrested. Their homes were raided. Well, their one home was raided. Apparently they had 5 bottles of bleach. And I'm like, I mean, people clean a lot, wash clothes a lot. There's a lot of us in the house. Like, it's very, you know, reasonable for somebody to have bleach in their home, but whatever. So apparently they had 2 laptops that were taken along with some other things, a red hat, and some bleach. So people really, you know, are saying that these 2 Nigerian men are responsible for the attack on Jussie Smolette. And Jussie Smolette did an interview with Robin Roberts this past week, and he was very emotional, talking about how upset he was that people didn't believe him, that people were questioning him. And I just kind of feel as if I understand that you were attacked and you're upset that people don't believe your version of the story. But at the same time, you have to understand how the information you gave doesn't necessarily add up. And I feel as if people should always ask questions. You should never believe something just because that's what they said. Like, it don't work like that. People lie way too much. This day and age, people always want to, you know, want attention. I just feel like you should always question shit. You should question my videos. Like I'm saying, don't, you know, just because I get annoyed with people correcting me, I get annoyed when they correct me and they wrong, and especially when it's of no consequence to what the fuck I'm saying. My opinion doesn't change whether he's from, you know, an island off the UK or London. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, that's of no consequence, all right? That is not of importance in the situation. But you know, talking about 21 Savage. But with this Jussie Smolette situation, I just felt like it didn't add up all the way. Okay? Especially when you think about how, you know, after I watched Lovey T's video and she brought up the bleach situation that I had never even thought about. If you're walking around in negative 19-degree weather with a bottle of bleach, it eventually is going to freeze because at the temperature of 19 degrees, bleach freezes. Okay? So how are you going to pour bleach on somebody if the bleach is frozen under the temperature that they were outside. Like, it just all seemed weird. And now come to find out, it might not have been any white men. It might have been 2 Nigerian men. So it makes me feel as if, just like everybody else have been saying, this might have been a situation where Jussie might have been going out to get some meat and was attacked by said meat. Now, this is all allegedly, okay? And it doesn't mean that he deserved to get attacked. It doesn't mean that he deserved to get beat up. None of that shit. But when you come and you put out a story that might not necessarily be true because you're trying to protect an image, then you lead people to not believe your story, whether it is true or not about you being attacked. I believe he was attacked. I believe he was beat up. I don't think that's okay, whether it was 2 white men or 2 Nigerian men. But I also don't believe it was necessary for him to lie, if that's what happened, allegedly, okay? Like I said, it didn't sound right from the beginning, and now they've arrested 2 Nigerian men who definitely don't look like 2 white men with MAGA hats on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, y'all. The police were also saying that they might file charges against him if the shit turned out not to be true, and then they came out and said they are treating him like a victim, and that's where we are now with the arrest of these 2 Nigerian men. So, I'm guessing there will be more on this story as time goes on, but there were way too many twists and turns for me to believe it as it was told to us initially. All right, y'all, moving on to Monique and Steve. Steve Harvey, that is. Now, y'all, I talked to y'all about this situation last week when it was being reported that Monique went on Steve's show and he basically told her that she needed to apologize to Whoopi Goldberg and she needed to apologize to Oprah and Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels, even though, you know, behind closed doors and off the radio and off the show, he would say that she did nothing wrong. Okay, wanting her to apologize for her comedy show when she told him to suck her dick. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that either. And Monique was on the show and they had a very heated dialogue, but it didn't end in the way that it seemed that it ended, with them threatening violence against one another. That was totally taken out of context. What Monique said is, we are not arguing. This is a conversation between the little brother and the little sister where the parents ain't home and the little sister's about to punch the brother in the face. Bow, but it's all love, okay? Like it was a joke, but it wasn't this, you know, heated argument that was them actually threatening one another. But what was perceived from the interview, I think it's hilarious how everybody is now coming to Monique's defense and saying that she should value her integrity over money. But this is what everybody had been saying the whole time. I said in my last video, I wonder how everybody is going to view this situation now that it's Steve Harvey she has a problem with and not one of y'all faves, you know, Oprah, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, okay? Now, I personally remember this situation with Precious, and I believe that her being blackballed was because she didn't want to do press for the Precious movie, because for one, he only paid her $50,000, did not pay her for that press run, and she wanted to be with her family. She had just gotten off of doing the Monique show on BET, did the movie, and wanted to be with her husband and her children, and was not being paid, and was expected to pay out of pocket to go across the world and stay in hotels that she was gonna pay for out of the $50,000 that they gave her to do promo for the movie, and she didn't want to do that. And here's the thing, whether she did promo or not, her performance in that movie is what sold that movie. Her performance in that movie is what got that movie to the acclaim that it got to. So to then blackball her and try to muscle her after she had already said what it was, I always felt like that was fucked up. I always felt like if Monique feels a certain way and she doesn't want to do something, she don't want to kiss ass, she doesn't want to leverage her integrity for some money, then I respect that. As a person that has been put in a situation to have to tap dance for people so that they will feel comfortable for who you are, when you finally are like, that is enough, fuck that, I've done enough, I'm not about to keep kissing ass for this bullshit. I totally understood where Monique was coming from the very beginning. Yes, she has changed the tone in which she talks. It's not like the ghetto Monique like she used to be. It's this kind of condescending tone, and she done married this man and people don't like him, Sydney or whatever the fuck his name is, you know, that's fine. But when it comes to this situation, what I don't like is all of these other black people coming out telling her that she should have been kissing somebody's ass. When Whoopi, okay, Karen, when Karen told her, y'all, I love Whoopi. Please don't get me wrong, okay? I love Whoopi, but I also feel like Whoopi has been able to get into the places that she has gotten into because for years, she probably was going on press tours out of her own pocket and kissing ass and tap dancing for white folks and changing names to Goldberg to sound more Jewish than Johnson, you know, her actual last name. You know what I'm saying? I feel like throughout her career, Whoopi has made sacrifices and it's probably gotten into a point now where she doesn't have to do those things anymore. But I believe that Monique felt the same way. I have done the shows. I have done the Chitlin circuit. I've done the black movies. I've done everything I needed to do. And I've gotten to this point where somebody gives me an Oscar and y'all still want me to kiss somebody's ass. And I'm not fucking doing it. I respect that. Steve was on this show and his audience kept clapping every time he told her, you know, basically to sell out, okay? If I don't show up, if I fall apart, then my family don't get, my children don't get, my grandchildren don't get. And it's like, you know what, Steve? You talk all of that shit, but you still lost your show to a white woman. All of that tap dancing and ass kissing you did, you still lost your show to what was it, Kelly Clarkson? You a comedian. You somebody that, to a certain extent, has your people's support. And as time has gone on, you've come off more and more like a sellout, more and more like somebody that's disrespectful and out for self and don't give a fuck about nobody else. And you basically put that into words when you were talking to Monique. And Monique was sitting up there like, no, brother, we're not about to agree on this. We can agree to disagree. But I'm not about to go kiss nobody's ass for money that I don't need. And Monique has figured out a way to make money for herself. She do her shows. People support her. She has her fan base just like anybody else. She does not need to do anything that she doesn't want to do. And nobody like Steve Harvey, who's sitting on the show that is not about to be there, okay, in a little while, can tell her that tap dancing, kissing ass, and giving up her integrity is the right thing to do, okay? Because like I just said, in Steve's situation, you did all of that and they still took your fucking show from you. Still took your good ass time slot after Ellen. As far as I'm concerned, that should show you that what was for you was going to be for you and what wasn't going to be for you just wasn't. No matter how much you was bending over and kissing ass for whoever, okay? So that's just my take on it. And I see a lot of people coming to Monique's defense now. But y'all know how everybody is. Fair weather like a motherfucker. Won't be a fair weather friend. I'll be there to the end. Even through stormy weather. Time and time again. Shit, shout out to Johnny Gill. Just a little extra. Tisha Campbell dropped her restraining order against Duane Martin, citing that it made their co-parenting situation more difficult. Even though she was still in fear of him, she didn't want to make it harder for her children to see their father. And y'all, I don't know what's going on with Tisha and Duane, but I think that it's just sad that this is the way it's playing out so publicly. Their relationship has never been public like that. Like, people knew about their marriage. People knew they were together. They were seen together. They were on House Husbands of Hollywood together. But never did you think it would play out in this way. And I told y'all I didn't know if I believed that he actually like was beating her or anything like that. And I also don't ever like to be the woman that doesn't believe another woman when she's saying that something is happening to her. But at the end of the day, I have to use my common sense. Okay, I have to use my brain and decipher whether I want to fully believe something or not. And I just don't know if I believe that you feel like your life is in danger or your health is in danger when he's around if you're now going to drop your restraining order. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's going on. But I hope that for everybody involved, shit can end amicably. Okay, I hope I said it right. Amicably. That's such a hard word to say. Amicably. Shit. Okay? Moving on to T.I. So this past week, everybody was up in arms because Gucci has been releasing clothing like this sweater, this black turtleneck sweater that goes over the face and it has large red lips on it and it's similar to blackface. Then the clothing line Monhair put out like this black blimp jacket with a whole bunch of little faces on it that look like, you know, the caricature of black people that used to go around so much. And back when they did not want to hire black people for roles, white people would put on blackface, and the roles a lot of the times would be making fun of black people and yes, a massa and yes, a sir, and all of this bullshit. So it was perpetuating the stereotype, and it was also perpetuating the degradation of black people by making their skin, you know, putting shoe polish on your face as if that's what our beautiful melanated skin looks like, because that's not what it looks like. As if all of us had these huge, big ass, you know, red lips and all of that. Some of us do, and the shit is attractive. Ask my husband about it, okay? Because he has really big lips, and that's one of the things that I love the most about him. But anyway, I'm sorry. So yeah. All right, sorry. Go back to the darkness, all right? So everybody's upset about this, and there are so many people who don't know their history, who don't know what this caricature of us represents. Like, for instance, Kodak Black, that feels like black people are reaching as if he's not a black person. And I'm like, nigga, you literally look like a caricature of the yowza, and all of that shit that they used to do. You literally look like a caricature of that. And you're gonna talk about how you still gonna buy Gucci. Y'all, T.I. put out a song clowning Floyd Mayweather because Floyd Mayweather was on TMZ and was like, man, I'm gonna do what I want to. I'm a successful black man. I'm gonna support who I want to support and go into Gucci and come out with all of these bags. Here's my thing. I'm also not going to forget the fact that Beyonce was wearing a jacket with the same type of face on it and everything that was a Gucci jacket. Nobody's saying anything about Beyonce wearing it, but we're gonna let it go because Beyonce also bigs up black designers, okay? But still, bitch was wearing a whole jacket with the same black face on it, okay? It was green, but the face and the caricature was the same. Katy Perry had a set of shoes, tan shoes, black shoes. People were saying it was blackface. She pulled it immediately, okay? But when I saw the tan version, I was like, maybe they were just trying to offer the shoe in black. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like in some of these situations, it may not be that, but in Gucci and Moncler situation, it is definitely blackface. It is definitely something being made, you know, making fun of black people, like making fun of this area in history where this is what they were doing. And to have so many black celebrities constantly wearing this shit and bigging up these companies that don't give a fuck about them, it just makes me sad. It makes me sad because I feel like there was this era in the 90s where they had all these black designers, Carl Kanai, Baby Fat. Eve had her clothing line. Them jeans were off the chain. Eve used to have some of the best jeans ever. They had this satin lining in the waistband, and you know, they were stretching a button in the legs, but they were so well done, and I loved them. And then all of a sudden they stopped selling it. Early 2000s, y'all know, a lot of mid 2000s, a lot of the black clothing lines went away. You know, Fat Farm, all of that shit. Carl Kanai recently, you know, came back up, and he had a line with Pretty Little Thing, and I loved it. I bought some of the stuff. Like, I love Carl Kanai. I loved Carl Kanai back in the day. So I'm glad that he's coming back as well. But I feel like it is a time that we need to stop putting our money into all of these white designers who don't give a fuck about us. Okay, they don't care about us. They don't give a fuck whether we're wearing their stuff, and we give them free promotion when we mention them in songs, when we wear their shit in videos, and it does nothing for us. It does nothing for us as a people. Okay, now I'm not saying that everybody needs to stop wearing designers, but what I'm saying is, if you're gonna buy that shit, just buy it, but stop talking about it in songs. Stop giving them free promotion in your music, okay? Big up some of these up-and-coming black designers that are trying to get on but will never get in that space because only a certain amount of people are allowed in that space. Look at Diddy, for instance. Diddy has had Sean John since that era, okay? And it's fell off in certain areas, but you know what? He was able to find his niche in suits. So his suits are still able to do well. His clothing line is still able to do well, but I'm sure he took a lot of pitfalls figuring out how to maintain his clothing line in a time where all of these black designers were just going away. And I feel like we need to big up each other more than we big up these old house designers who don't give a fuck about us, who don't care about us, who just want us to wear their clothes so that we can give them our money. Okay, like I'm just saying, I just think it's sad because I feel like Gucci doing this blackface shit, like, they've been like this. They've been like this, okay? And look, y'all, I love Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton is my favorite. I don't like Gucci, never really liked Gucci. I don't like Coach, okay? I like Marc Jacobs, all right? Like, you know, some of his purses and shit, I love it, especially when it doesn't have all of those symbols and shit on it. But I realized that shit don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that shit doesn't matter. A bag is a bag. You know, I feel like only people who are so self-absorbed with, you know, labels and all of that makes them feel important, when at the end of the day, that's not an investment on your money. Even if you sell that shit to somebody, you still gotta sell it for a lower price than you bought it. That shit is not, you know, that's butter. That ain't guns. okay? As Ving Rhames would say on Baby Boy, okay? Guns and butter, okay? Clothes, purses, that shit don't appreciate in value. So stop putting so much value in the shit just because they slap some white person's name on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I feel about it. But T.I. did a song called Fuck Nigga. The song is actually good, but this is him clowning Floyd Mayweather. 50 burnt one Gucci shirt. Fuck out of here with that shit. You already spent your money on it. What is you burning it for? Just like I felt like white people were stupid for burning their Nikes, I feel like anybody that's burning their Gucci is fucking stupid, okay? Then Gucci sent some free shit to Soulja Boy to get him back on their side, okay? After he said that he felt some type of way. So I just kind of feel like it's never gonna be that. They never gonna stop wearing them labels. They never gonna give a fuck enough to be like, I'm only gonna wear, you know, black labels and stuff like that. Just like regular people still going to H&M. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only so many battles as black people that we can continue to fight. So I understand Floyd and I understand Kodak Black and them when they say, you know, every week somebody is canceled. Every week we trying to boycott somebody. I do agree with that up to an extent, but I feel like there needs to be a level of bigging up black designers in order to trade off how much money and time and effort and bigging up y'all do to these white designers. And R.Kelly is still in the news. Like, we just can't let the shit go. And this is a good reason not to let it go. Okay? And I mean, just, you know, stop talking about it constantly. Like, it was all over the place for the entire month of January. When getting to February, I'm thinking, you know, they didn't cancel shows. Philadelphia said he can't come back. A whole bunch of shit has been going on. So you just think that, you know, slowly but surely he's gonna stop being able to make money, and, you know, maybe these girls, you know, the power get turned off and the girls will, you know, jump out their cages and fly away or some shit, like on Family Guy. They was making fun of Tom Cruise and the lights went out, and then Katie Holmes went and freed all of the sex slaves that they had in cages and shit in the backyard. I'm sorry, that shit was funny. But anyway, this situation is not funny. But I just, at some point, it's like, Jesus, you got to make light to keep from crying about some of this shit. There's another sex tape. CNN has been reporting yesterday, I believe, that there's another sex tape of a 14-year-old girl. And I watched Lovely T's live, and she said the tape was a VHS tape. So it's still something that's old, and it's something that was being held on to. But now that R.Kelly is running out of money to keep paying all of these people, now everybody wants to give up the evidence that they've had. And it just shows the lack of caring. It shows the lack of caring on the part of anybody that will hold on to a tape like that so that they can continue to receive money from this nigga. Especially when you see that he continues to do it and keep getting girls to come in. And I still don't believe them girls are being held against their will. Like, I just don't believe that, because every single one of them, when it was time for them to leave, they packed their little bag and they got the fuck. Okay? But I believe that when it comes to the 14-year-old girl he was supposedly on this tape with, this is another girl from the first girl, and I'm glad, because that first girl is so fucking brainwashed and embedded into what he's doing. I don't think there's any help for her. There wasn't any help for her when her parents decided to not go to court and to take that fucking money and say that that wasn't her on the tape. Okay, but this new girl, I hope, I pray that there is something in this tape with this girl that allows for authorities to be able to press charges against him. Now, I don't know if there was a statute of limitations on this, but this is child pornography. In the video, she's saying that this is 14-year-old pussy, and he's saying, oh yeah, that's 14. Y'all, I just can't even, you know, go through the motions of reciting it. But it was obvious that the girl was supposedly 14 years old from what she was saying and from what he was saying. And it's just disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. It is disgusting. And I find it so irritating that so many people knew what was going on and they allowed it to keep happening because he was a cash cow. Like, have you no morals? Like, I'm sorry, y'all, but at some point, you should care, because that shit is disgusting. Like, at some point, you should be like, nah, man, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. That shit not cool. You know what I mean? But no, everybody wants to continue to work with him. People want to continue to turn a blind eye to him having sexual relationships and molesting these young girls and peeing on them. And a girl peed on him in a video. Just, I hope that this time they're able to get him and put his ass in jail. Like, I really, really hope that, because this is just ridiculous. And it needs to be a testament to the times are changing of niggas getting away with this shit, because it's not cool. It's not cool. Y'all, I was watching on UMC. I don't know if any of y'all have UMC on Amazon, on an app or anything, but there's a show called Beyond the Pole. And, it's about strippers. But Stormy Wellington is on it, and it was so funny because Funky Dineva just did a video about Stormy Wellington because she's supposed to be a life coach, but some people say that she's a fraud and all of this shit. And there was some, drama on the show. But she said that when she was 13 years old, she was in a strip club, and a man said, if you pull your skirt up and show me your panties, I'll give you $600. So she went home with $600. 13 years old, started stripping at 16. So that just lets you know that this has been going on, and it still continues to go on. And these women, whether they understand it at the beginning or not at a young age, they don't fully understand the situation that they're putting themselves in. And when men of a certain age get with young ass girls, it's only so that they can control them. And then in that relationship, they're being controlled, they're being abused, they're not being loved, they're not being taken care of, no matter what anybody's talking about, okay? So it's disgusting. It's disgusting, and I hope they put his ass in jail this time. All right, moving on, y'all, to Justine Skye. Justine Skye is signed to Roc Nation. She's an artist. I don't really listen to her music. But recently, she's been all over the place for accusing her ex-boyfriend, Sheck West, also a rapper, of abusing her. And she put out a video of him jumping a fence at her house. He says that it was just to get his clothes. And he said that if I beat you, show the bruises. And I totally understood that, because that's the same way I felt with this whole situation with Bow Wow and the girl he was fucking with. Like, if the nigga was beating you up like you say he was, why didn't you take picture evidence of your shit the way he took picture evidence of his shit? That's another thing. Women, if you with a guy and he's putting his hands on you, he's abusing you, punching you in places that he think you can't, take pictures of all of that shit. Because one day, you gonna wish that you had. Take pictures of that so you can have evidence that the nigga was doing that shit to you. Because it's so easy for people to be like, oh, it's he said, she said, until you show up with pictures of bruises on your fucking body and shit. So Justine Skye doesn't have any evidence like this, but I guess after her saying this over and over again, and people saying, well, if he really did that to you, why wouldn't you file charges? She went to the police station, and she said the first police station she went to, they were not cooperative, they did not treat her well, and she went to another one, and she showed a video of a police officer giving her a hard time and calling her, what did he call her? A difficult victim. What kind of victim are you expecting, sir? In West Hollywood? Okay, I forgot to write down a nigga name. Damn. Officer Holden, officer something like that. I think it was something with an H. But either way, there are so many people that should not be police officers, and that is because the police departments have allowed people to become police officers whether they should be or not. There should be some compassion in your heart for people, regardless of the fact that you have to stay on your toes because of how criminals are. But when a woman comes in saying that a man abused her and wanting to file charges, I'm gonna need for you to take that seriously and handle her with kid gloves, and don't be a fucking asshole giving her a hard time about it, because that is the reason why women don't report, because it's not taken seriously, and nobody wants to be berated by a fucking police officer that they're going to for help, okay? So she put all of that out on social media, and then went to another police station, and she said that there was actually something happening. I guess she was able to file the papers. Now Sheck West, maintains his innocence, maintains that he never abused her, to ask his current girlfriend, all of this and this and that. And y'all, I don't know. I'm not going to say one way or another, but I'm going to say that both of them deserve the benefit of the doubt, because she's been saying this for a while. And he also, made some points about how if I was abusing you, why you don't never show pictures of the abuse? You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, you gotta say, hey, I need to show evidence of this, especially if you got evidence of him jumping your fence, which shows absolutely nothing. But it still shows that you breaking and entering, my nigga. So you did something wrong in the situation, regardless to whether you want to admit that or not. But none of us were there, so I don't want to say whether I believe it one way or another. I just would like to say that when you are in these situations, as soon as you can, as soon as you have your strength, go to the police, say something to somebody, get your evidence, make sure that you can protect yourself and have your own back, because people are going to be out here trying to discredit you at every turn. Okay, so you know, that's just how I feel about it, y'all. But it's just sad. It's just a sad situation. Two young people that have, you know, seemingly up and coming careers, and this is what we're hearing, you know. So y'all, let's move on to AJ Calloway, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about, you know, the situation on the Grammys, and that's just because I've been talking about it on Instagram and Twitter, so I might as well talk about it in the video. So y'all know AJ Calloway. He's been on E! Hollywood News. He was also on 106 and Park with Free back in the day. Okay, back when 106 and Park was the shit. And back in 2006, he was arrested for sexual assault. He was actually charged, but I guess the charges were dropped, or he got away with it. One way or another, he got away with the shit. But just recently, an activist and an author named, the activist and the author was the woman he supposedly assaulted the first time, Calloway Abrams. This time, after 2008, a woman named Jeannie, hold up, y'all, let me put my glasses on because y'all know I can't see. Jeannie Delgado. Jeannie Delgado says that she met AJ Calloway on a plane, on a flight in 2008. And after that, he, you know, extended invitations to his home for 2 different events that he was having there. And then one winter during an ice storm, he invited her to the house to take cover until the next day to stay overnight to get out of this ice storm. Now, I don't know why she couldn't go stay at a hotel, but I guess she, you know, felt comfortable enough with him to be like, oh, why I spend my money? I can go stay at AJ's house. He has a nice house. He has a guest room. It's cool. So he, you know, puts her up in his guest room, what she thought was his guest room. But then she sees him come into the room, close the door, and lock it. And then he tries to kiss her. She pushes him away. She says no. He throws her down on the bed, pulls down her panties, and rapes her. She says she cried the entire time. He raped her that night, and then the next morning, he raped her again. So she's filing charges against him, and of course he maintains his innocence. But this is the 6th woman. It went from being 2 women accusing him of assault to now 6 women accusing him of assault. And this woman gave such detail about the situation that it makes me feel as if that is exactly what happened, allegedly, you know what I mean? But it's just, you know, when it's people that you don't even be thinking about. Like, nobody was thinking about AJ Calloway is going to be one of the guys that is accused of raping somebody, you know, as a result of the Me Too and Time's Up movement. But here we are. Here we are with a woman giving a full-on story of the rape that took place. And it just was very sad to read. I really hope that if this is what happened, that Jeannie Delgado is able to get justice for herself, because it seems as if this is a pattern, and if it doesn't stop here, it will continue. Because it seems as if because he got away with the assault of Calloway Abrams in 2006, he was able to continue on, and then this happens to Jeannie Delgado. That's another reason why I feel like, you know, I would really hope that women start to have the strength to tell. Because you have to think about the next woman that is going to come behind you. The next woman that he's going to do this to, because he was allowed to get away with it the first time. Y'all, I was really not, you know, I've reported on AJ Calloway before. And, you know, this is just what's ongoing with that situation. His lawyer, you know, says that none of it's true, but it's like bullshit. Like, I'm just saying, y'all. I mean, we don't know. But 6 women, come on now. Like, when there's smoke, there's fire. If it's just 1 or 2, then we'd be like, oh, you know, maybe they lying, maybe it was a misunderstanding. But 6 women and one that's actually saying you forcibly raped her, yeah, nah, my nigga, you did something fucking wrong, okay? So I hope that he also gets brought to justice. Now let's talk about the Grammys. Y'all, I wasn't watching the Grammys. I was watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, and when that was over, I went ahead and switched over to the Grammys to see what was going on. All right? First of all, they made us wait all night for Aretha Franklin's tribute, which was only 1 song. Beautifully sung, but still only 1 fucking song. I was just like, really? Apparently there was a Dolly Parton tribute, and that went on for longer from what I understand, but I missed all of that, so I don't even want to speak on it. People were upset because Cardi B won Best Rap Album, won her Grammy for that. And I just don't understand why people are hating on that girl. Like, why are you mad that she got a Grammy? Like, I thought that was so unnecessary to hate on her because of that. But She was receiving hate, and then BET was hating on Nicki Minaj, okay? So they posted, you know, oh, Cardi wins a Grammy. Meanwhile, Nicki is being dragged by her lace front. When I saw that, I was like, this can't be real. And then they were reporting on it, you know, people posting it more and more. And then the next day, Nicki Minaj responded and said that she was not going to be performing at BET Summer Jam. She also posted a conversation she had with Lil Wayne, and he said that he agreed to have her back and not perform as well. And I just kind of feel like, first of all, whoever the intern was, whoever the girl who worked there was, bitch, you work for BET, which means you need to keep your opinions to your fucking self, okay? I thought that was unnecessary. And then Cardi B posted, you know, a video when she was complaining about people hating on her and saying she didn't deserve her Grammy. She also said that she don't need nobody congratulating her and then downing somebody at the same time. That's not her style, and she not here for that. So BET, please check your people. They issued an apology to Nicki Minaj, but I don't think she's trying to hear that shit at all. Nicki also said that she got blackballed from the Grammys by not wanting to, you know, sacrifice her art the same way Ariana Grande said about this guy, this producer for the Grammys. I forgot his name because that wasn't really what I thought I was about to be talking about. I forgot about the whole Nicki Minaj situation, but I felt like that was wrong. Y'all know I have a lot of the time been on Cardi's side in the beef between Nicki and Cardi, because I think that Nicki just doesn't want to have anybody on her same level. I think she just wants it to be her, and that's understandable. But at the same time, like I said, everybody has their peaks and their valleys. Everybody has their highs and their lows, and you got to know at some point after you've had your highs, your career is going to be on the descent. That's just what it is, especially when you're in rap and you're a female. You can only do that for so long unless you know, like Salt and Pepper in them, and how they make their money is they just continue to tour because people always want to hear pushing. Okay, like everybody always like that shit, okay? And that's how most artists will make their money, is just by touring. So, you know, whatever. But also with the Grammys was the Motown tribute done by Jennifer Lopez. Y'all, I love Jennifer Lopez. I've loved Jennifer Lopez for a very long time, ever since, you know, Stelinas, and then you remember that she was a dancer on In Living Color and shit like that. She was a fly girl. But I felt like maybe they should have gotten some real vocalists, and then maybe gotten the Dance Theater of Harlem or Alvin Ailey to have their dancers come and, you know, do the transitions and the dancing and the performance, you know, aspect of it when it comes to the dancing. Because I do see that there aren't a lot of people like J-Lo who do the dancing and the singing. And Beyonce, I don't even think she was at the Grammys, and I'm sure she probably didn't want to do the performance. They probably asked her and she was like, nah, I'm straight, I don't feel like dealing with that, okay? Look like, you know, Beyonce is just like, bitch, I'm on vacation, so I'm gonna go to the Little Rock Nation brunch for my husband, but after that, bitch, I'm going home. Okay, like that's the look she was giving us. But she was the only person that I could think of besides like maybe Maya, who could have done the transitions of the dancing and the singing at the same time. Maybe Janet Jackson, but still not strong vocalists in the way that Beyonce is. Like I said, I think J-Lo did a great job, but I also felt like, why couldn't y'all get somebody who represented what Motown looked like to represent them in this tribute? And then here come fucking Smokey Robinson telling everybody that they bigots and racist because they didn't want somebody that wasn't black to perform that tribute, saying that Motown was for everybody. Let me tell y'all something. Motown was only for everybody because the black people weren't allowed everywhere else. That's the only reason, besides Stax Records or whatever the fuck the record company was that Etta James and Muddy Waters and all of them was on, which was still owned by a Jewish man like the rest of the fucking record companies. Motown was the only black owned record company, which turned it into this, oh my God, this brilliance of black music that maybe in the 50s and 60s was trying to blend in with the vibe. But as the 60s and the 70s and civil rights went on, you had people like Marvin Gaye, people like the OJs, so many people making political statements of black power in their music. For you to fucking turn around, Smokey Robinson, and write this long ass soliloquy about how it was for everybody. We know the music is for everybody to enjoy. We know everybody loves Motown music. It's great music. But at the same time, the only reason that Motown was necessary is because black people weren't allowed to do the same things that white people were. Point blank, period. And even some of these artists that had to go in the back doors to perform. So it just pisses me off fuck that y'all now want to separate yourselves from Motown being for black people, because it really was. It was for black artists. And having 2 white artists the whole 45 fucking years or so or whatever, the whole 50 years or whatever. At first, Tina Marie wanted to be black so fucking bad. Okay, it wasn't like Celine Dion or some fucking body was on Motown. Like, that's such bullshit to me. It's not hatred, it's not bigotry when you want a black record label to be represented by a black artist. Okay, like I just don't think it is. And another thing is, what about the soul? Like, Jennifer Lopez is a Latino, maybe hip-hop pop artist, okay? But she's not really a strong vocalist. She's a great performer, but she's not a strong vocalist. She's not a soul musician. She's not an R&B singer. So why the fuck, out of everybody, y'all went and got her? I don't understand, and I'm not negating the fact that she's talented and did a great job, but I just felt like there should have been somebody that looked like us, that looked like the people of Motown, to represent for that tribute. And it just makes me think about how whitewashed everything is. Black people can never have anything. We can never have anything that's for us without somebody white coming in and redoing it and making it seem like it was their own. From big asses and braids and hip hop and rap music and jazz music and even a rock and roll that was stole from some black people. Everything that we develop, everything that we try to create as a symbol of our blackness is always taken from us and then said, oh, this is for everybody. And it's exhausting. Just like, you know, the pushing, if you watch commercials, it's never like a black couple. It's always an interracial couple. A black guy and a white guy. A black guy and a white woman. A black woman and a white guy. Like, it's just always them trying to water us down, never trying to represent us as who we are. You know what I'm saying? And it's tiring, y'all. It's fucking tiring. Like, you can never be represented for who you are. Like, there's something wrong with being pro-black. Like, there's something wrong with being proud of being 2 black people together. Like, there's something wrong with Motown being a representation of black artistry at a time when that black artistry was not really allowed to be played on radio stations. Like, what the fuck is the fight for if not to get us equal rights? Like, it just makes me mad, y'all. It just makes me mad. And y'all know how I am. I don't have no hate towards nobody. I love everybody that love me, no matter what your skin color is. But the degradation and the watering down and the whitening of us is so fucking exhausting. It just makes you feel like there's something wrong with you being unapologetically black, just because the people who have fought for us to have these rights now want to relinquish them because the fight is different. So, Smokey, you disappointed me. But then again, we know how much some of you black men love y'all white women, so get the fuck out of here with that. Like, we already know where y'all loyalties lie. And y'all only pro-black when it comes to men. But when it comes to black women, who are the people who made Motown, okay? Yes, the black writers and all of that, but for the most part, the people that, the majority were black women that made Motown what it was, okay? I appreciated Diana Ross's performance and all of that. You know what I'm saying? I love me some Diana Ross, so I appreciate that. But y'all, it's just, sometimes you just feel like it's always them trying to make it so that it's just not us. You know what I mean? Like, J-Lo, my nigga. I better see a black person in a Celia Cruz tribute. I better see a black person in a Selena tribute, because I love Selena. Okay, black people love Selena too. Where we at on that? Are we going to be a part of that? Are we going to be at the Latin Grammys? Okay? Like, are we going to be included in their shit the way we're expected to always include them in ours? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But yeah, y'all, that's all I got to say. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I feel like I didn't just wore myself the fuck out. I gotta get myself together so I can go pick my husband up from work. All right, I love y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'll see y'all in the next one.